Salam alaikum. Peace be upon you. Welcome me back. I went away for a little while. Every single time I say I'm going to be back, I should always say inshallah, because I have no idea what my schedule looks like. Anyhow, I'm packing up, so that's why you hear all this frickety noise. And okay, so here's something that came to my mind about shirk. I'm almost starting to sound very Arab. Sorry, not Arab, but rather that Arabic accent is coming out. Not Arab by any chance, by the way. I don't think I am. I do have some, some descendant type of history with somewhere along the lines. Anyhow, but what I was trying to say is the thought came up of shirk. Okay, so how do we commit shirk in a normal, even if you think you've never committed shirk, okay, what are other ways of giving partners and allies to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in a way, if we really think about it? I don't know, if I was doing some deep thinking, and actually the inspiration came first and the deep thinking came afterwards, and I thought about every single life experience I have come across and every single type of stories I've come across, like of real life stories of what people went through. And I thought to myself, I said, oh snap, I said, wait a minute, humans are committing shirk, or as in they are allowing the place of where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is to other humans as well. You're like, what the hell do I mean? Right? I'll tell you what I mean. Okay. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if you didn't know, in the Quran, goes on to tell us that it is only He who guides us. It is only He who protects us. So everything that we needed to know is fully explained in detail in the Quran. Whether that's gotten through your head or not, whether you've read it or not, whether you believe it or not, it's there. It's written in the ayat. Go look it up. It's explained fully in detail. Okay, it might be chapter 6 and verse number 114. I'm just running it off the top of my head. I'm assuming that is the one, just to make it a little bit easier for you, when you go in to search it. Okay, so, and if it's not, then pardon me, but most likely it is. Anyhow, it's in the Quran. So when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us that He is our only guide and our only protector, and He's giving us pretty much all the recommendations that we need in this dunya to live our lives, how do we make a human in His position? I'll tell you how. For example, and you might think it's completely crazy to think this, but in a way, if I were to break it down for you, I can make sense out of this. How most of us, instead of going to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, instead of going to the Quran, instead of going to Salah, instead of remembering Him, what do? Okay, you got a problem? Okay, you don't go and ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala because you think that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not be able to give you an answer. A physical answer in the form of a voice talking to you back, of that sort. So of course majority of you won't take your problems to your Salah. You understand? You won't go there thinking that bowing your head or standing, bowing, and prostrating, right, will give you an answer to your problem. So you won't do it thinking, okay, there's not going to be a response from God, a miraculous response of Him talking back to you. Kind of like, when you talk to your friends and you talk to your family and somebody's there to listen to you, but then also to talk back to you. So You pray Salah thinking you won't have an answer. Okay. There won't be a voice consoling you, comforting you. Okay, that's the reason why you don't go pray Salah. Most of the times when you have a problem. Okay. Now, previous to this broadcast, I told you that I wanted something, and before I even wanted something, I received it, and it's multiple times when I strive to be nearer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when I am properly praying salah and I'm doing sajda and I am exactly the way that it should be going in terms of how a proper mu'min or mu'minati should be, in terms of praying salah, doing dhikr, reading Quran, doing their life, dunya deeds, right? When I become that proper individual without hasad, which means envy, right? I don't have it, alhamdulillah, was called, or without any impurity as well, in terms of being in the state of wudu, as much as, of course, because you have to pray, right, 5 to 6 times a day if you're including a tajud. So if you're in a state of purity, and your mind is pure too, of course. I mean, there's those battles that you have with like the shayateen all the time, right? So, like in terms of deviating thoughts, right? The waswasa that they call, right? So, when you're not praying salah thinking you're going to get an answer because you don't have a voice coming back to you and telling you physically, unless you're like me, that's another different case, which I pretty much, I don't know, I've had the strangest experiences of everything. So I won't even tell you all if I hear a voice or not. I'm not going to tell you that. That's my secret. But anyways, I'm just kidding. For most of you. So you don't know. Anyways, I'm just kidding again. Anyhow, what I'm trying to say is that most of you don't do it because I'm sorry, I'm playing with a box cutter. I really need to stop. Okay. Before I hurt myself. See, if you're a real Muslim, you don't end up hurting anyone else. You end up hurting yourself. I think I cut myself. It's a blade cut. It's not a paper cut. Ow. It was like one of the most pain. You know, they're small and minor, but they hurt so much. I'm so sorry. Okay. Anyways, stop distracting yourself. All right. Let's focus. All right. So, and you think you're not going to hear a voice back, right? Telling you the problem, the solution to your answer. Here's the problem with that. You might not hear a voice back in most cases, for most of you. But the solution to your problem will be given to you. Okay? If you believe, and if you prostrate, and if you are grateful, and if you are addressing your concerns to the creator of the heavens and the earth, they will be processed and taken care of. Sometimes almost immediately. Or sometimes, there's only 2 ways that it could happen, right? Either what you're requesting is something that can happen, right? So that means it is a human request that you're sending out to the creator of the heavens and the earth. And if it's plausible and it's not going against his plans, as in God's plans, right? The creator of the heavens and the earth, Allah's plans, then it is something that can be done. Okay? It is something that can be done. And if you ask for it, inshallah, you will receive. If it's logical, it's plausible, it's good for you, it's great for you, it's something that you deserve, it's something that that can be done, of course you'll receive it. There's a processing time. Maybe it might be before you even think about it, you'll receive it. Maybe when you think about it, you'll receive it in a millisecond. Okay, maybe if it's not a millisecond, which means it's not like, Amazon Prime services and the fastest that you'll get it is superior 2-day service, less than that. or like in terms of how UPS and then you have FedEx and then you have all stages, you'll have 1-day shipping, right? They have 1 day shipping, and then they have like the 2 day shipping, then they have the 3 to 5 day shipping, and then they have like the 9 day shipping, and then like the 2 week shipping, and there's different there's different stages of shipping your dawah out to you. But inshallah, it will be done. Unless it is something that's not in Allah's plans. It is, how do I say this? It is going head to head with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's plans. You're requesting for something, but according to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, His plans obviously come before yours. Okay? For example, if you're praying for a nation that is going through turmoil, okay? And you were thinking, why? And of course, majority of you don't know why it's happening, because you haven't read the book, right? So you're like, why is this happening to my nation? Why is this happening to the children? Why is this happening to my brothers and sisters? Why is this happening to my neighborhoods? Why is this just happening, right? So, because first you're going to think about your nation before you think about anybody else's nation, right? But you don't know that the creator of the heavens and earth has said for that particular nation, even in the book, that it shall be done and it will happen. But on the other side, don't worry about it, because it's just a part of the process. They're all going to return to me, as in not me, but to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay, they're all going to return to me. Now, you were like panicking because you don't read, and moreover, you don't even believe. You're like, why isn't the world perfect? You got 1,000,001 questions, but you don't want to spend even, 10 minutes to read the answer to a part of your 1,000,001 questions. You want the answers, but you don't want you don't want to do the work. You want $1 million, but you don't want to go ahead and buy the lottery. Just want it to come and show up at your door. Of course, I don't promote lottery. I don't gamble. I don't do lottery. I've never been a player for the lotto or any of that sort in my life. Okay. Of that sort. But I think in my whole entire lifetime, I think I've probably taken a penny and scratched off some of those number 7 scratch-offs for someone when I was at the station and stuff. Like, in terms of when I went to go visit my friends and stuff, and I ended up going to visit the station, and I had a penny there. So I'm just this is how thorough, honest, like, in real life, like, this is how thoroughly honest I can get. Like, if you're not someone I don't want to have, there's only one person on the planet that there's a couple that I don't want to have anything to do with in this planet. Like, you are Iblis, you're Shaitan, get out of my life, right? So I only have about, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, maybe like 5 people. Maybe like 10. I don't know. Let's say 9, let's just leave that those 10, out of those 10 people, let's just say one person was good. Like one of Isa al-Islam's and Jesus's, beloved one disciple, probably out of all the disciples, the closest one. Okay, fine. Like, you still denied me, right? They say you still denied me, but that's okay. You're the first one I came to. Okay, you're the first one that believed. So, just like that, you have those 10 people, but they're all messed up, but that's, like, it's fine, you pick one person. You're like, all right, you're fine. But other than that, to them, I don't care about. But what I'm trying to say is to all of the dunya, when it's just me, on the platform, and I'm willing to say something, I attempt to be as thoroughly throat cut, blade cut, honest as I can be. I try. Um, a little way too off topic here. Sorry. So, what I was trying to say is, okay. So I'm not a player of the lotto. I don't gamble. I don't do none of those things. Okay? So, hey, I've also heard something in my lifetime, which is, oh, if you do it once, it means that you are, what's it called, you've always done it all your life, or you're going to do it all your life, or you're a sinner, you're the greatest sinner on the planet. If that's how any of you think, then please don't even call yourselves Muslims, because you don't even know what Islam is about. Islam is about submission, right? Submission to the creator of the heavens and the earth. And what is his name? Ar-Rahman and Ar-Rahim. He is the most merciful. He's most graceful. Why do we pray? We pray because every day we're literally fighting with the shayateen. We are committing smaller faults. Indeed we are. None of us is superiorly 100% perfect. Go check the Imam's computer. After 12 o'clock at night. I'm sorry. Did I just say something very inappropriate? You go check his history. Go check that scholar, that pundit. Go check that politician. Go check anybody in the planet you want to check. Go check their history, their records. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has clear records of every single person. You go check the most pious people on this planet that are in the face that they say that they are in today's platform. Go check their Google histories. Go check their phone histories. Go check whatever records you can find of them. And you will find one fault in the sight of Allah as per Quran. You will find it. It is inevitable. Why? Because each one of us are fighting with the shayateen. Every single one of us. That is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the most forgiving, the most merciful. So if anyone has ever taught you this, as per culture, as per traditions, as per whatever, number one, don't even listen to them, because they're not even making an effort to learn. Okay? Don't let them be your leaders. Don't let them be your teachers. Okay? They don't even read with understanding. They don't even care. They just want to tell you what they've learned or known all their life, and what their forefathers or their families and people that their teachers and instructors have taught you. But they don't care. They don't care to listen to you now. They don't want to have a discussion. They want to have a debate. They don't want to have a discussion. They want to have a debate. They want to have a dispute. They don't want to talk calmly. One, because their freaking shayateens are, like fight, fight club. And then your shayateen's going to be the same too. One is a nicer shayateen and the other one's more of an aggressive shayateen, right? So, so even if you're a little nice, the other one's still going to be like, all right, knock her out, knock him out, And that's why it's almost inevitable to most of the times to discuss, to try and discuss deen with other people, because you are forgetting that each person has a shayateen attached to them. You understand? They have something doing waswasa. Even if they want to come to you, there's someone holding them back, and either they don't even know, they don't even care, they're off in this dunya, they're lost, or they don't even recognize the fact that they are being targeted at that very moment. There's a penguin. So if you want to be a happy little penguin, okay, if you want to be a happy little penguin, what you should do, give me 1 second before my charger goes out. Oh my. 1 second. Oopsie daisy. Okay. I don't even know what the original broadcast was about. Oh yeah, oh man, I always get distracted. Duh, that's my shayateen, always making me forget. Okay. So, then, what happens is basically, how do you make other people your gods in terms of when they are human? I will tell you that. Now, suppose you have that problem and you didn't go pray Salah, okay? You didn't ask God for the answer to your problem. But you went to your friend just to get a comforting ear. Just to get a comforting ear, you went to your friend and you asked them for them to listen to your problems. Now, the funniest thing is, majority of them don't even have the solutions for it. The solutions might be correct, inaccurate. There's a mixture of the shayateen. There's a mixture of the hesed. There's a mixture of everything combined together, and which one it is that they're going to come from with their approach, you have no idea. And then a lot of the times, they're probably not in concordance to the most accurate information and the most accurate answer that you can receive, because the best answer would have been in the Quran. They're going to only be able to give you an answer to their limited own experiences that they have gone through. That's if you have already not taken the answer that you already know. So a lot of the times what happens is you will ask a question, right? And your friend will give you an answer. But what do? You don't do what they opted you to do, or they referred you, or was it called, told you to, kind of whatever the answer was, right? You don't take their answer and their advice. You just lend it. You just want their ears lended. And what do? You end up doing whatever you think is right anyways. Because you already knew the answer. You already knew the answer to your limited experience, right? You already knew it. So now you went to your friend, and suppose you didn't go to a friend because your friend probably doesn't have time because you're busy too, So you end up going to a life coach, or you end up going to a psychiatrist, and guess what happens? Again, the same exact thing. They give you from their studies on psychology that has only been around for not even a little bit over 100 years. Okay, their feelings and their limited not limited, but a little bit over limited experiences of their studies and stuff, right? Yada yada. So instead of coming to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right, you've went to them, your psychiatrist, your psychologist, your life coach, your life consultant, your friend. And you went to go ask them looking for an answer when the answer was with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And after Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, guess what? It was with you. Because no matter who you go to, like I said before, to your friend or to your psychiatrist or to your psychologist or to your therapist or to your life coach or your consultant. You're going to do what you think is right for you. You're still going to end up listening to your own advice that comes from within you. Your instinct, your goals. So don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. You go to a doctor even sometimes, right? Now they're pros at what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing, right? But a lot of the times they tell you, oh, you're going to die. You only have 3 months to live. Why didn't you go to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Why didn't you go to God? Everybody's gonna die someday. Everyone has to go. It is just their appointed time. It is their appointment. But why didn't you go to God? Why didn't you go to God? Perhaps so that up till that moment, life would have probably been a lot more better than it has led up to. Not only that, why didn't you go to God and see that perhaps things could have even been miraculous? How do I say that? In one of my broadcasts previously before at some point, I had discussed a miracle about cancer. I had discussed a miracle about cancer. How there's an individual, blank, that had cancer. They were tested for it. They had it. But then many years later, 2 out of the 3 tests that they had said that they didn't. And how was that? How is that even possible? Oh, it's even more of a miracle of a story. The story was that the individual never thought about that cancer. It just never even hit them. It never hit them. They never thought about it. Okay? They never thought about it. They never let it, kind of inflate their cells, as you could say, with stress and stuff, right? So they never let it inflate their cells with stress, because every human being has cancerous cells. Okay? Every human being has cancerous cells. So by not having stress, you have already reduced the chances of having a lot of diseases. You can start losing hair if you have stress. My dad is a prime example. He stresses himself all the time, and he's done it to himself, and he's lost majority of his head of hair. Actually, not really. I can't say majority of his head. It's just perhaps maybe 30% of his hair down underneath there. I notice all these detailed things, so I could tell you. He'd probably want to kick my ass. Probably would have beat me up for saying that. That's almost of me to say, right? Beat me up. He'd probably be very upset for me to go ahead and unveil something like this, that, okay, on the internet and stuff, right? Talking about how my dad lost some of his hair. Well, he hasn't gone, he hasn't gone for alopecia or any of those things as of yet, but in the sense that sometimes when you don't have a full head of hair, you'll start to lose some of the hair. You can see that the hair is, you can see it's not as full as it was before. That's a better way to put it, right? How? It's stress. You're doing it to yourself. You are stressing over things that you have no control over. You are thinking about things constantly that you have no control over. Number one, you should just do your part and not worry about anything else. Just play your part. That's it. As for anyone else or everything else, you don't have a control over it. You don't have a control over it. So why stress about it? You understand? Why stress about it? So, I'm sorry. I'm broadcasting and I'm literally fighting with the noise in the background. There are some people who don't understand that, that a lot of the times, you know, when you're talking to somebody and then they're talking to you as if like you're overseas, you know, and the connection isn't even clear. That's exactly what happens in my house. Okay, hold on a second. They're like on the second floor. They're like on the first floor and they're talking to each other as if they're trying to tell somebody something from like the fourth floor. It doesn't make sense. Anyways. It happens, right? Hey, it happens. Nobody's perfect. So you just have to have sabr and you have to have patience. And the reason why sometimes I feel like I was losing it, like literally in terms of my breath, and I was like, I can't focus. I feel so distracted. I can't talk about what I need to talk about, you know? And I was like, I can't do this, man. I need to talk about this topic. And like, I can't even focus because they're screaming off the top of their lungs, literally. Well, they're just talking, by the way, but their talking is like screaming off the top of their lungs. So that's why, you know, that's why people who are calmer and are just so much cooler. Anyways, but that doesn't mean anything because I'm a bunch of crazy too, right? I'm a lot of fun. I'm a lot of fun. You gotta love me and you gotta hate me, right? Anyways, so I'm sorry. I've gotten too personal and I've gotten a little too distracted. But long story short, what it is that when you go to your psychologist, your psychiatrist, I'm not going to repeat it, the whole list of things, or your friends, or even your family, your teachers, and blah, 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 blah. And you don't go to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with your problems, there's a problem, buddy. They're not going to be able to do beyond their limited understanding. And don't forget, there's hasad involved. There could be envy. There could be your antagonist. That means I gotta go pray Isha. Okay. Yep, I gotta go pray Isha. So, that's a sign. Alright, that's a sign for me to go pray Isha. Anyways, it's also a sign for me to wrap this up. So, if you got a problem, don't go to anybody. Go to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And, you know, you're not going to hear a voice, majority of you, alright? But you will have that processing time of your du'as being taken into processing, right? But there's only two things to remember. One, if it's not going against Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's plans for the dunya and for the people and whatever He wants to do, right? Because it's His world, His universe. Then, if it's not going against that, it is being processed. So the closer you are to Him, okay, the greater of a membership you have with Him, the longer you have been with Him, maybe even. No, I'm not saying the longer you've been with Him, but and the more you strive, you know, like if you're in class and you're goody two-shoes and you're doing extra credit assignments, right, then you should have no problem, right? The teacher's always going to be like, don't worry about it, you know. I'll take care of it. So if you're that close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then, you know, then you're good. So, but you have to understand, like I said, it's a process. You have to understand how to love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in that manner, how to feel that attachment and that closeness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the only way to do that, before I leave, because I know I have to leave for Isha anyways, and I also have to head out as soon as I'm done praying, the best way, the best manner for me that I've learned to come to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is without wanting anything in return. That is the most supreme way for me that I've understood to love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is without wanting anything in return, because He's already given you everything. And you should be actually paying off your debt for that, kind of, in a way. You should be thankful to Him for everything that He's given to you. Even if it's something of nothing, or if that nothing is a whole lot of something. You understand? So just, you know, chill. Your relationship with Him is very beautiful. It should be kept very simple, very nice, you know, kind of like as if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, of course, is in a physical presence as well. It's just that we're veiled. So it's almost like imagining, yes, of course, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is there, obviously in physical form. You can't imagine him in what form he's in, right? Or what gender, or what he looks like, or how he is, or whatever. It's beyond our comprehensions, but it's not necessary. But just to understand that, of course, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is there. Indeed, of course, one of his names is that he's ever alive, ever watching. So in that manner, if you start to feel that, okay, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is there, and of course there's a veil, but he's there. Okay, so if you can do that, then you're good. That's how your relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will get a lot closer. And if you're free of like need, and you obviously can still come to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and make dua for the things that you want, or you want to acquire, you want to ask for, and whatever it is. But even if you're praying like 6 times in a day, I would even say, out of one of those 6 times in a day, or maybe 2 salahs out of, maybe 1 salah minimum out of your 5 or 6 salahs, just don't ask for anything. Just say to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you know what, Allah? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for everything that you gave me. And as crazy as it sounds, you can even go on to say, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this is your dunya, your universe. You are the Malik al-Mulk. This one is for you. I'm not going to ask for anything. I'm giving salam to all the prophets, all the malaikas. I'm giving salam to all the mu'mins, the believers of the dunya, all the creations. And just give salam, 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 And then just say, whatever you want, Allah, you create, you keep creating, whatever you want to do. It's your dunya. I'm so happy saying this to you. Do as you please, and I'm okay with it. Do as you please, and I'm okay with it. And believe, you, me, you, inshallah, just with this, I believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will even safeguard you. Okay? Even against a nation. Unless that is how you are, unless that's written for you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. These are examples of how to come closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Even in this dunya today, if you think that you can't, these are examples. I feel it. I've been through it. I'm going through it. And I know it. And that's how I'm sharing it. Okay. So for now, I'm off. I have other topics to talk about, but I just don't know when I'm going to get to that. I'm going to go pray Salah, and I have other things to do. Okay. So Allah Hafiz for now. Take care. Goodbye.